Geek Vibes Live is rated G for geek.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Geek Vibes Live Interview. I'm your host, Tia, and I have with me the very, very nice, because I can tell already, Maria Breese. How are you this afternoon?
I'm well. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, and so for our listeners, Maria plays none other than Black Widow on the web series Superhero Diaries, which you can check out on YouTube right now. It is this really fun improv sort of web series that kind of, has this merge of DC characters and Marvel characters, which is frankly every nerd's dream. So,
so true.
I have to ask, just right out of the gate, Maria, were you a big fan of superhero movies before getting cast as Black Widow?
Yeah, so I grew up watching Batman and Superman, but then when Marvel became really big, my husband and I started watching the movies together, and actually recently just rewatched all of them. I think we're at Endgame right now. And he still hasn't seen Black Widow, but we just love the movies. We love the Marvel universe, and, combining the two was really fun for me just because it was that bit of childhood nostalgia, bringing the Marvel, where I am now as a millennial and kind of, meshing it all together. It was really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched the first two episodes, and again, that's just something that we as fans sit there and think about all the time. So you said that your husband didn't see Black Widow, but I'm assuming you've seen Black Widow?
Yes, I did. I think we'll see a little preview in an upcoming episode where my character gets to go see the premiere of my movie for the first time. And we get to interview a couple of the people that are going to see it. And I got to see it on opening day. And I was just so excited that another female superhero had a movie. I get so excited when females are represented in feature films to begin with. And when they're leads, it's really exciting for me as an actor.
I mean, it is really exciting as a fan. Being able to see Scarlett Johansson finally have her own solo movie was really cool. And of course, Florence Pugh did an amazing job as Yelena.
Incredible. Yes.
I did really love, so in the episode, I really loved I think it was 37 questions from Wonder Woman and Miss Marvel. And yeah. I loved when, I guess spoiler alert, but I loved when Wonder Woman goes, well, why did your movie get pushed? And you responded, well, why did your movie get pushed? And was that in the script, or was that just kind of all improv?
That was all improv. Nina Tarr, who plays Wonder Woman, is probably one of the funniest people I have ever met in the world. And it was pretty intimidating doing some improv with her because not that I had to let her, I was more of like the straight man, but she just, every take, it was something new and hilarious, and keeping a straight face is, my Russian Black Widow demeanor. It was tough. It was really tough. She made it really difficult for me.
I was going to ask, how many times did you break character, or, were you kind of able to keep it together, but then when they hit, when they said cut, then suddenly you started laughing?
It's funny. Scott was like, you're really good at, playing this kind of straight man character, no laughter. It's a little jarring. But right after they'd say cut, I would die laughing. I mean, there were a couple of times where someone would say something so hilarious that you just can't help but break character. And luckily, it was such a cool, casual set, and Scott created such a fun, welcoming environment for us all that we all felt very comfortable, like doing it again and making something else. If this works, then, do that. If that doesn't work, try it again. And yeah, I definitely broke character more times than I would like to admit.
I couldn't imagine keeping it together. So you did a really great job. Can you walk me through how you were cast as Black Widow for this awesome project?
Yeah. So a friend of mine was actually a consulting producer on the project. And he's like, I think you'd be a really great fit. I submitted my materials to Scott and I got on a Zoom call with him and I was expecting, to have to prepare something. And really Scott was like, all right, so what's your improv experience? Do you like superheroes? Who's your favorite superhero? And do you think you're funny? I was like, I don't know, how do you answer that? And he was just so wonderful. And we had such a great rapport, just kind of back and forth. That he, at the very end, was like, I really like you. I don't know who I'm going to cast you as yet, but I want you to be a part of the project. I was like, okay, great. Awesome. And as an actor, that's kind of a dream where you just, at the end of your audition, you hear, I want you to be a part of this because I like you. I'm like, oh, okay, great. And after the year we've all had, it's nice to work on a really cool project.
And that is really cool. We are still in the midst of this pandemic and you're filming this awesome improv project where you really want to feel free and not restricted. What were any challenges of filming something where everyone's super close during such, a difficult time?
Sure. Well, Scott and the whole production team, they made sure everyone was tested. The crew was all tested, crew was all in masks, and when obviously the cast members, we're all close together, but I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think everybody was vaccinated. And I think that was part of, the requirement to be working on this set in particular, because we're in the thick of the pandemic. I think we wanted to ensure everybody's safety. Of course, vaccination is a personal choice. It was just, 100% about people's safety. So filming anything right now, you want to make sure that health is the top priority.
Right, exactly. Another line that I particularly liked, and I have to, of course, know if it was improv or in the script, is when I believe either Wonder Woman or Miss Marvel asked Black Widow, why did you decide to become one of the good guys? And you delivered, they're hot.
That was improv. I think I think Scott really wanted to see how I would respond to these questions, and some of them Nina made up on the spot. But yeah, a lot of the responses were definitely improv, and I have to say, that response still stands. The good guys are pretty hot. Yeah.
I 100% agreed. I was watching going, yeah, agreed. What is your background with improv that kind of helped prepare you for Superhero Diaries?
So I studied with UCB maybe 7 or 8 years ago. I really enjoyed that, and working in commercials actually really helps you because a lot of the auditions that you do in commercials are improv. And I used to think I wanted to be a very serious actor that loved the crying scenes, and I just kept getting cast in these comedies. And just naturally with comedies, you've got funny people on set, and sometimes, the director gives you room to just kind of see what comes out. And I think just being a working actor, has kind of prepped me for that. And it really did help that a lot of the other people, Nina, for example, is a comedian. And a lot of the other people had a lot of improv experience as well. So it just makes that riff really, really simple and easy.
It seemed very natural. And again, the whole concept is such a cool thing. So, in this episode, the second episode, you are not even just primarily, exclusively just interacting, well, at least your character is interacting with Wonder Woman, Miss Marvel, and we see this whole little party going on outside. Should we expect to see Black Widow finally interact with those like Batman and Green Arrow and the Spider-Man and things like that?
Yes, definitely. There's definitely more to my plot, more to my story. And I think, you will be really excited to see us all come together and all interact. You spoke about the DC universe and Marvel universe coming together, and that's really, what this whole web series is about. It's bringing everybody together and intertwining storylines. And Scott makes it really fun because he doesn't really tell you when you get to set, what you're going to be doing that day. You kind of like find out as it's moving and going. And it's really exciting as an actor to, kind of learn on the fly.
And this is almost a two-partish question. What is really your approach when playing this character? And after seeing the movie Black Widow, did you draw some inspiration from Scarlett Johansson, or are you kind of, you're Black Widow and say that you're this Russian spy, but you're making the character more your own than, say, trying to be the, improv counterpart to Scarlett Johansson's performance?
Yeah, so I looked up everything and anything I could find on Black Widow, especially things that, were not so obvious and things that we knew already from the movies, because they talk about Budapest a lot, and now we know what that means, having seen the Black Widow movie. But, that was definitely like, okay, I remember Googling it. Okay, what do they mean by like, we don't talk about Budapest? I'm like, what does this mean? And kind of her relationships, who Black Widow, in the comic books, in the comic book universe, who she's had relationships with, why she is the way that she is. And then, of course, drawing from Scarlett Johansson's amazing, incredible performance of Black Widow, and kind of putting that all together and then letting it be funny and not so serious, which I've never played a funny spy in my life. I'm wearing leather. I've got Nerf guns strapped to my legs. I mean, it's definitely, it was interesting as an actor kind of taking that on, but letting it be goofy, which is not something we usually see from a character like Black Widow.
Right. And, now that you brought up the costume, I do have to ask, it looked quite sunny and nice where you were filming, and you're in a leather outfit. First of all, I always wondered what that was like for, say, Scarlett Johansson and now Florence Pugh, but how is that for you wearing that in what looked like a very lovely scenery?
It was a beautiful day in the Valley in Los Angeles. It was quite hot. Luckily, the crew and the cast were super cool about letting me sit. We all pretty much had really tight costumes. At least I didn't have anything covering my face. I think some of the guys, I think they struggled even more than I did. But, it's just part of the character, and you kind of have to pull the bootstraps up and, you do it, you play the role, and then you peel off the layers and go sit in front of a fan.
I always think back on, Olivia Newton-John in Grease.
Gosh.
When I think they said they had to put baby powder on her or something to fit into that. So that's always what I imagine is the preparation. So none of that though, right? It wasn't that bad?
No. Oh my gosh. No, not that bad. Luckily, a lot of my costume was latex. I think they've really upgraded since Grease was filmed. They've added some breathability, which was very necessary. And luckily that top part would peel off and I would be able to get some ventilation. So thank God for that.
Yeah, as a woman, I feel like I see that and I go, yes, it looks very nice, but oof.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So I know that this web series is very comical and, very humorous. Are we going to see at any point maybe your character get a little bit more into the action or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. I would look out for some cool stunts and some cool fight scenes. We definitely get into the thick of it. So yeah, definitely be prepared for that. That's and awesome. Be prepared for how it spins into a comedic moment.
I do really look forward to that. I, of course, have to ask, since you seem to be quite the fan of these superhero movies, which is awesome, and you're playing Black Widow in Superhero Diaries, but if you were given the opportunity to either be in a Marvel movie or a DC movie, is there any character that you'd love to play?
Well, I think the ones I'd love to play are already taken, or, I mean, my favorite characters. I love the Red Witch. I think she is so cool. I think she's probably one of the most powerful characters, which is really exciting because yay, she's a woman. And like, don't mess with her. Why does anybody mess with her? And then I really loved Thor, which I don't know. I know that there's a lady Thor coming out, but the original Thor, God of Thunder, I'm not quite sure of female, the way that it's written. I don't think I have the right parts to play the role. And Chris Hemsworth does a great job. So I don't want to, yeah, those are probably the two characters I would really love to play, but I'm looking forward to seeing what new characters they can think up.
And I do have to ask, you bring up such amazing points when you say that it's wonderful, to see female superheroes getting their own movies, their own projects, and also the fact that I believe in the Marvel universe, first of all, they said that Captain Marvel was the strongest Avenger, and then we saw Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda. Just, I don't know how you can be stronger than that. So, I mean, what, if you have any thoughts on, say, the transition in superhero movies where it's being more inclusive to, showcase women as more than just, say, side characters?
Well, I think, you kind of hit the nail on the head, and we're really seeing it now with Black Widow. I mean, it was pretty successful in the box office, which, typically you don't see female-driven lead characters, lead movies like that, do that well in a box office. And, Wonder Woman did very well. I think we can all agree. But usually it's the male leads that tend to do even better in the box office. So, now we're starting to see females come into their power. And it's exciting to see that, equality is being represented. And I think Marvel and DC both do a good job of an introduction into that, where different races and ethnicities and sexes are being represented. And I would love to see it even more and see what else they can come up with, to make everybody feel like, that's my superhero and that's who I identify with, because that person looks like me and acts like me and likes what I like. That's my personal opinion on it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's about time, right?
It's about time. Exactly. I mean, some could even argue it's like, it should have happened a while ago, but at least it's starting to happen now.
I mean, I always said that about the Black Widow movie. I said, yeah, I would have liked to get it 10 years ago, totally. But I'm happy that it happened.
Yeah, I don't know that we were prepared for it 10 years ago, which makes me sad as a female to say and someone in this industry. But like, I think, this last year has kind of prepped us, for what's to come. And it's made a very large introduction into, what we're in store for. And I'm excited for it.
I'm super excited for it. I mean, give me all of the Yelena and the Wanda and, all of it.
Totally. Oh my gosh. And Wanda, I mean, WandaVision's such a successful show. I mean, Loki was really cool too, but it's just nice to see someone like Elizabeth Olsen just rock that character, and the transition between film into TV. I mean, that's a big transition. So it's cool to see it happen so seamlessly.
It is. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And Maria, I loved having you on as a guest. I love your passion and you playing this character. It made me so excited that you were playing Black Widow. And I really look forward to seeing the rest of Superhero Diaries. But before I let you go and to enjoy the rest of your day today, I have to ask, besides Superhero Diaries, what else should we look out for with you involved in it?
at the end of this year, I think around October, November, December, they haven't given a specific release date, but I have a movie coming out on Netflix called Teachers Watching. It's a thriller, and I'm pretty excited to see, the final product. It was really fun to film in Mississippi. So that's something I'm really stoked for. And then I've got a couple of other projects coming up, one that I'm producing, which is another passion of mine, and one that I'll be acting in that films next month. So lots of exciting things to come. And, obviously every week we get a new taste of Superhero Diaries. So I'm just excited for people to be passionate about these things and to look out for them.
Absolutely. And just one last thing, are you on any social medias where people can follow you and kind of just really dive into your craft?
Definitely. Yeah. I'm on TikTok making silly little dances with my 2.5-year-old. And it's at Maria Breese, and the same handle on Instagram as well.
I'm definitely going to follow you on TikTok because it has, I never thought that I'd be into TikTok, and then suddenly I got into it, and
I love it.
I can keep scrolling forever.
I make the dumbest videos, but I have so much fun doing it, and I love showing it to my husband because the look on his face, the rolling of the eyes, I'm like, perfect. Well, I thought it was funny, so I'm posting it.
Yeah, and everyone can't see this, but as I'm speaking to Maria, her Zoom picture is a picture of her and her hubby, and you two look great together. So
thank you.
That's hilarious to think that he's rolling his eyes at your TikToks.
Constantly. He's my biggest fan, my biggest supporter, but he will be the first to tell me if he thinks something's stupid. But I post it anyways.
Yeah, exactly. That's what TikTok is for.
Totally.
Maria,
let the world see how silly you look. Anyways.
Exactly. No. Thank you so much. Again, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. Everyone who's listening, make sure that you follow Maria. Make sure you're following Superhero Diaries on YouTube. It is hilarious. And again, who knows if we'll ever get to see DC and Marvel on the big screen together. So if you're wanting to, itch that, scratch that itch, of yours, just check out Superhero Diaries, because you literally get to see Batman interacting with Spider-Man, and it's awesome. So again, Maria, thank you so much. And until the next interview, I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you so much.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough, and the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you, so you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.